Okay, continuing on. Sorry, it's taking a long time. I'm trying to get through this as soon as possible. Chapter 21 through 25. Chapter 21 through 25. On page 620, there is a question which I got wrong, I think. They're going to ask you a question on direct attack, and they're going to ask you, when do you stop flowing water? In the book, it says water should be applied until flame is no longer visible. Flame is no longer visible. I believe the two options that they have is when the fire is extinguished or when flames are no longer visible. And the answer is actually flame is no longer visible. That's when you stop flowing water on a direct attack. There's going to be a question about an indirect attack on how to prevent a flashover, and that's the way to prevent a flashover is to have an indirect attack. That's also on page uh, 620. Moving on page 626, there's going to be a question about a portable monitor on why you have to have it at a certain angle. And basically, when you set up a portable monitor, you want to make sure. Let's see. You want to read the lower part where it says the reaction force will tend to make the the portable monitor unstable. So you want to make sure that the reason why it can't be set at a low angle is to prevent the monitor from being stable. So you want to make sure in order for the monitor to be stable, it has to be set at a higher angle. So that's on page 426. On page 633, there's a question about propane cylinder, and the answer is relief valve. That's all you have to know. That the propane cylinder is always equipped with a relief valve to allow excess pressure to escape. The answer is relief valve. So when you see something in relation to propane cylinder, the answer is relief valve. On page 333. There's also another question about propane is heavier than air. So they're going to ask you what weighs more, propane or air. Just remember, propane is heavier than air. That's also on page 633. No. Okay, this is on page 635. I think it has to do with bloodies, or it has to do with where do you apply the water. Um, so just read that section when it comes to protect the container from rupture. The relief valve will be open to release some pressure. The relief valve should exhaust vapors until pressure drops to a preset level, and then the valve should be closed and resealed. As heating and relieving cylinder continue, however, the liquid may still begin to boil. If flames, if basically you want to cool down where the liquid line is. Okay, so that's on page 635. We're gonna move on to actually um, to the next couple of chapters. We're gonna be on chapter 28. um, know what radiation is? Um, there's gonna be a question on page 793. Know what radiation is? I think the question has to do something with either microwaves or ions. There's gonna be that's actually a tricky question. I don't actually remember what it is, but just remember that read what radiation is on page 793. Move along. Know what a hazardous material is. they're gonna ask you a question on on um, on a test. It's gonna say how to recognize a hazardous material incident. Um, I believe the answer is occupancy and location. But just for you to know how to recognize a hazardous material incident, a couple things to know is the occupancy and location, sense of hazardous material detector, and container type. I'm gonna have to put you on hold, guys. Let's switch off to the next video.